How can you tell if an offer is real or fake? This is a question we get from our clients all the time, and in today's video, we're going to get into the details of some of the key things you can find out if this is a real offer or a scam. You're going to be glad you're with us today, and some of the things you're going to hear, you won't hear anywhere else but right here. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to our channel. If we're meeting for the first time, my name is Alex, and I'm your friend in real estate in Nashville. And as a friend, we get questions all the time about, hey, I just got a call from somebody. I don't really know them, but they said they wanted to make an offer on my house. And I talked to them for a minute, and then I got this offer. And this happens all the time, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of times a day. And we have this conversation in our market all the time with our clients, friends and family members. And it's something that we thought, okay, it's time to jump in and do a video about it and share what we know and some of the key things that you can start with to see if it's a scam. And unfortunately, in today's market, there's a lot of different scams out there, and they have lots of different intentions on what they're going to do. So we're going to share with some key things to look for that may be a trigger for you to know whether your offer is real or fake. First thing you want to look for is unusual requests. Now, this is pretty broad as far as unusual, but it would be unusual for you to get an offer on your house if your house isn't for sale, right? That seems kind of basic, but that's an unusual request that you would say. So that would be the first thing. Now, it doesn't mean it's necessarily bad by any means, but if your house isn't for sale and you've gotten an offer or someone's talking about an offer or a buyer or any number of other things to get you to tell them details about you and your property, then it's probably an unusual request. Another unusual request could be something that could be giving out an enormous amount of personal information in the beginning. What do you owe, or what your plans are, or your social security number, anything like this that's personal information for someone that you don't know. That's unusual, and you just don't give that out to anybody. So I wouldn't necessarily consider that a real offer. And they want to know that when things have been updated, like it's just very, very unlikely that that's a real or market driven offer. Next, identifying who's your buyer, right? What are they going to do with the property? This is pretty common when you get some of these. If you work through this unusual request and someone's called you or shown up at your door or sent you a letter, you want to ask, hey, tell me about your buyer. This happens a lot. This is a prospecting technique that a lot of agents use, and they'll go through and say, hey,
I have a buyer in your neighborhood. Please call me.
and they never really even had a buyer. They might have a buyer for a certain, if it was 50 cents on the dollar. All of us have buyers for someone who will buy half off property. But what you want to do is you want to go through and say, hey, tell me about your buyer. Don't let them drive the conversation. You be in charge. It's your property, and it's you that is the one that really is driving this conversation. So tell me about your buyer. Where are they moving from? Tell me about their family. How long have you been looking? What are their non-negotiables? And you'll find with a fake offer, it'll be short and quick and redirected, and they'll turn back to you to mine information out of you.
Yeah, I've got a lot of buyers. I got a lot of buyers.
And no, but who is your buyer? Well, tell me why my house. Without you sharing your personal information, this is a key step to seeing if it's real, because a lot of people make those calls and they're like,
Yeah. I work with a lot of builders.
and what they mean is they know who some of the builders are in your area. If you're in a neighborhood that does renovations or tear downs or what have you, and is increasing its density, those kinds of things is happening a lot. And that is how they're sourcing that deal. In reality, that person's not working for you. They're actually not even working for that other builder, because they don't really know them. They just know that they work in the area, and they're working to get into business through you and maybe marking your house up in order to make a profit and sell it to someone else, whether it's a consumer or a builder. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to verify the buyer's identity. Tell me their name. Tell me where they're from. Get some details, a lot. Who they are. Do they have a family? Why my house? And like, well, they really like whatever, and it may, all of a sudden turn the right direction, and it may be real that they are doing that. But you want to go through and find out how real it actually is. Identify your buyer. Next is how generic the confirmation is and the communication is from these people. If you're getting an email from a Gmail or AOL or Yahoo, free setup emails, then that's probably a sign that this may be a scam, or they may not have honest intentions. If they have a 1-800 number, or it pops up as potential spam when it comes in, or any number of other things, or a really small, generally unpopulated area that comes through on your phone, that's another good sign that it's probably not someone that's reputable with good intentions. They have other things. They're going to create it and buy it at a discount so they can resell it, or at a margin, or any number of other things. They may be just fishing for your personal information to take advantage of you that way. So make sure that you're really intentional. Look very closely at any emails or phone numbers and ask them, clarify, hey, I saw that you called. Again, control the conversation. Thank you. First of all, who is this? In case we get disconnected, what's the best number to reach you back? And if they're really forthcoming with those things, so be it. Generally, the market is very, very open and have professional contact information, have offices, have real phone numbers and real cell phones that you can verify in multiple places. That would be a good sign that it's a real offer and a real buyer. Next, an offer that's just too good to be true. Now, almost always when we have those too good to be true offers, we know that they are too good to be true. And so lots of times fake offers will come through with just outrageous terms, just something that is just really, really favorable that you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can close in 10 days, or they give you hundreds of thousands of dollars over. And you just want to be really careful of that, because often there's a couple of layers that they're answering your first question that you're looking for. You're looking for that objection. They're overcoming that first objection. But in reality, there's a second or third or fourth layer that they fully intend to withdraw or not close, or just drag things out if they can't end up selling it for a margin or something like that. So you want to be really intentional and go through and think about it like, hey, is this too good to be true? And if the answer is yes, you would lean towards this as a fake offer and start to drill down on it. When are they really going to close? If they have a long inspection period, a typical inspection period in a residential real estate transaction is around 3 to 10 days. If they have a 45 or 60-day inspection period, or in commercial real estate, they would have a due diligence period where they're going to see how feasible it is. That's probably a fake offer. And what they mean by fake is they want to get you to agree with them with some terms. So they have those times, that additional 60 days, to go sell it to somebody else for more and make a margin that was actually yours. It was your equity to be had if you were on the market. And again, that goes back to our first point. Make sure if you have some unique requests or things that are uncommon, like, will you sell your house when your house isn't for sale? Make sure you're starting to think this might be fake. Okay, next, trust your instincts. Now, this is something that I very much believe in and advocate for with our clients here in Middle Tennessee. And just trust your gut. More times than not, we know when things just aren't right, and we really want them to be better, but they shouldn't be. But you want things to be improved. So trust your gut. Do your own due diligence. If you get to terms and it's looking more and more like a real offer in terms and a timeline that you would accept, then do your own due diligence. As we said, make sure, check those phone numbers, go through, see if they're a real viable buyer, look into them, do some research. You could call a friend that is either a real estate professional or an attorney friend and kind of let them do a search. Ask them, hey, do you have somebody that could do a little background search for me and find out? Just last week, we got a referral from someone who was very excited in Colorado. We're in Nashville, Tennessee, and they were referring us somebody who said,
hey, they want to buy a very expensive house, $10 million property.
And they asked us for a referral. We wanted to send it to you. And we're like, great. Well, our gut was telling us like it just wasn't right. And so when we did some research, things just aren't lining up. They don't have the assets. They don't have some of the things that you would do when you were going to go ahead and move on one of those properties. And we're treating them with kindness and candor and hoping that they do come through, and that that their great uncle does give them these dollars, which is what they're telling us is going to happen. But you just never know what the real truth is. And so when you're going through this, do your due diligence, work with a professional, check in with a legal professional. And if you don't have one, you can reach out to us and we can help make an introduction anywhere across the world that you might need it. But we can certainly help with some of those things. So that's it, guys. Which one was the most helpful? Let us know in the comments below. And if you got any value in what we shared with you today, please help us. Go ahead and change that subscribe button from red red to gray. That certainly helps us. But the thing that you could do that helps us the most is introduce us to your friends and family that have a next move coming here in Middle Tennessee. That's why we do this. That's why we share these things, is to say, hey, who are we a good fit for that you can introduce us to before they need that next move? And I would very, very much appreciate it if you would send this video to them, have them reach out to us. We actually have a link right here on our channel to connect with us, to have a free, no obligation 30-minute consultation. So if we've got something going that we need to talk about, or that you've got one that you're not sure about, you can definitely pop in right there and connect with us. Even if we don't know what's going on in your particular part of the world, we can make an introduction to our network of agents across the country and the world and help get you some hyper-local expertise at little or no cost. Just because of our relationships, we can do that. So if you need that, follow the link. It's there. We love sharing great content like this. So again, help us out. Thumbs up, subscribe, drop us a comment, and we'll be back next week with more things to talk about. But we're glad that you've joined us. And until we connect again, my name is Alex, and I'm your friend in real estate in Nashville. You hope to earn the opportunity to be your agent for your friends' family's next move here in Middle Tennessee. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again on the next one. And until we connect, keep on keeping on.